Susan. Welcome to Tea and Games. The tea today is Builders, a ginormous travel mug of Builders. It's like I feel the need for a lot of caffeine today. Little bit headachy, little bit sleepy. But anyhow, it's been a while. Welcome to new subscribers. All of my videos are a little bit different, so you never quite know what you get, but I hope you'll stick around. My husband and I are casual weekend board gamers. Robert does not appear on these videos. He doesn't want to do that thing, and that's okay. And so I just sit around and chat about board game topics or what we've been playing or buying, or what we want to play or buy. Anyhow, we had some renovation done in the living room. Not like it was very disruptive, and they got off to a late start because the contractor's truck broke down. So it didn't actually start when it was supposed to. So it's been like kind of a long stretch since I did a video because we were thinking they were going to come like any day now. And then we had the holiday weekend and then they came. So, new flooring and blinds and paint and stuff like that. So it was very loud and noisy and dusty and smelly here around for a while. And we had to unload the Calexes and load all of our board games into the dining room. This is where we play, dining room table. We don't have like a game table, but our dining room table is a pretty good size. It's fairly big. It's big enough for most of what we play. There's only one game that I think is going to go off the edge. And that's when I put, I got the Vera mat for Firefly. Some of you may remember, and I don't actually think it's going to fit on this table. But I haven't we haven't played with it yet, so I don't actually know. One can hope. Actually, this table has a leaf in it. I think what's not, or can have a leaf, and I think what's not going to fit is going to hang off the edge. Which, speaking of that, we did a thing where Robert and I each said 5 games we wanted to play this summer. These are not unplayed games, mind you. These are games we like that we hadn't played in a while and that we just wished hit the table more often. His games were easier to table than mine, so we worked our way through all 5 of his, as you may recall from a previous video. But summer has wrapped up. We are in September now, and there are still 3 games out of my 5 because I had only 2 that were easy to table. 3 games out of my 5 for summer that did not get played. Firefly the game with the new expansion. Sleeping Gods with the Tides of Ruin expansion. We've played it before. We've played both of those before, but we haven't played Sleeping Gods with the expansion. And My City, which is one of our unplayed games. Mostly our unplayed game shelf consists of party games we can never get the right number for, campaign games, legacy games, My City being a legacy game. It's the only legacy game we've got. But yeah, didn't get played. So we're just moving on, and eventually we will play those. They will hit the table again. The whole thing with putting them on that list for someone to see if we could get them to the table a little quicker than we might have otherwise. But in the weekend that we did manage to play games with all the stuff that was going on, we've been hitting Cartographers a lot, and we got some new stuff, which is kind of a good news, bad news situation. It's like, I'm going to tell you that there's going to be stuff that we got that you're going to like, but there's going to be stuff about it you're not going to like. We've got both Cartographers and Cartographers Heroes. We mostly played with Heroes. And we also got the map pack collection, which is 1 through 3. But I recently picked up the map pack collection for maps 4, 5, and 6. And each of these are sheet map packs, and they each come with cards that are specific for those maps. Now, the problem came in with, I ordered it from the publisher's website, and the reason why I did is because on the publisher's website there's a bundle of maps 4, 5, and 6, and bundled into that bundle is the Champions mini expansion, which gives you 4 more hero cards. Almost put up 3 fingers. 4 more hero cards. And I mean, you can always do with a few more heroes, right? But I mean, you shuffle them in. You're only going to have 4 in any given game. But we got it. And I'm like unboxing it, and in the packing box, it's not in a box like this. The map bundle on the publisher's site is not a map pack bundle like this. It's just all shrink wrapped together. So I got these boxes, and I got like maps and loose cards that go with the maps, and I've got to find some place to put them. So I ended up moving things around. I have now combined heroes and cartographers, and the way you combine them is you can put all of the different objective cards, each in their own category. You can put them together, and you just pull one for each category for your game. You put all the ambush cards together, all the hero cards. I mean, that's basically everything can be rolled in together, and you just draw the right number for the game that you're playing. The Explore deck, though, oh yeah, and you choose which season deck you're going to use, because one of them has one more time in one season than the other one does. The Explore decks you cannot roll together. You have to just basically choose whether you're going to use the Cartographers Explore deck or the Heroes Explore deck. And it's a thin deck. It's not like it's huge, but... So I more or less rolled everything together, bagged the 2 Explore decks separately, and that's the way we were playing. And what I did is into the, oh gosh, I got to remember now which box I put them in. Into the Cartographers box, I put the new maps. And into the Heroes box, I put cards. Basically, the 2 games rolled together, the cards. So the maps are real interesting. If you want to add a little bit of complexity, I feel like, and I could be wrong about this, but I kind of feel like that maps 4, 5, and 6 are more complicated or more complex or more challenging in some ways than maps 1, 2, and 3. I could be wrong about that, but it just kind of seems as if they are scaling up in either difficulty or complexity or something. Map 4 is Kethra Steppe. I really love the artwork in this game. And it comes with a new type of landscape, beacons, which you have scoring cards for lighting beacons and scoring off of the area around beacons. Let me show you these maps here so you can see what I mean. These are beacons, and you can see they're shaded. There's one that's gold and one that's red, and there are cards that are specific. The beacons have specific names, and there are cards that are specified for that, for each one. And you kind of got to be strategic about when you light the beacons. So that was really interesting. We liked that, but it was like after we were playing it a little bit, we got like through the first season and halfway into the second season, we're looking at you going like, yeah, we kind of did this wrong. We're really going to take a bath on this gold card for the beacon. But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it a lot. And then one that is especially appropriate, we're still having some hot weather here, but we had a cool weekend. We had a cool breeze this weekend, so I was able to go outside and do some gardening. But what's appropriate for our hot weather and for maybe cold weather coming is the next map pack, which is 4, Frozen Expanse. Frozen Expanse comes with, well, a frozen expanse on the map. But it also has, look here, you can see that there are areas that are filled in on the map as for a specific terrain type. So you got to put those terrain types there, and that's really interesting and challenging. And that had us scratching our heads a little bit, because we kind of messed up a few things there in terms of meeting our goals and at the same time the requirements on the maps. And the 3 cards it comes with a hero card, a penguin for our hero, and 2 ambush cards. And like the ambush cards that come with the heroes, there's like a level of complexity to the ambush cards, because they got extra text down here, which is not terribly pleasant because they're ambushes. They are, and then we get to, they are like monsters, or as Robert calls them, non-human interventionist. So then you get to Hornhelm, which is map 6. And you may notice, wow, that map pack looks kind of big. And that's because this map pack is big. This map pack is literally twice the size of the others. But it does not have twice the number of maps. It's twice the size because the sheets they're double-sided, but unlike the others, you don't have a different map on the flip side. You have supplies that you can buy for your expedition and that you can mark off on your journal down here at the bottom for more points. And you spend your gold for that, so you have to be very judicious about how you spend the gold. And you get those supplies from various merchants. You turn over merchant cards each season. And the supplies, you may notice, were on a grid, and so you have the option of buying, and you may not buy if you do not want to, supplies that are in whatever position they're on whatever merchant card you turned over. And it was kind of nifty. We enjoyed that, but I do not think that we optimized that nearly as well as we could have. We also got 2 mini expansions. Besides this, I mentioned the Champions mini expansion, which came with, from the publisher's website, those things. But I also got the Architects mini expansion, which I ordered from, can't remember if I ordered that from the website or Board Game Geek. Because I ordered it from the website, because I think it may be on Board Game Geek too. The Champions, as I mentioned, has new champions for you. You get, I believe these are the champions you get, Hazon the Mighty, Plex the Tyrant, because they're marked down at the bottom as promo down there. Yivi Two-Hearted, Immortal Knight. Those are the heroes that you get. And I mean, they all have different patterns for their attack and what they can do. Yeah, those are the heroes, base game ones. So then you get to the Architects mini expansion that I ordered, and it has it's kind of a one of each expansion. It has 1 hero card, which is Hort Gully here, and it also has a reference card to tell you about these. See, Architects reference. Hort Gully. You also have a Slime ambush card, which we're not terribly keen on, but then we're not terribly keen on ambush cards. We have a scoring pattern card called JL's Advice, which is that kind of scoring pattern with the arrow. And we have Stone Spine Mountains, which is an explore card that allows you to put a mountain, which you can get a coin from, anywhere you want. And it's like 1 square thing, so that is really nice. If you want more mountains, more gold, then yeah, you need to look out for the Architects mini expansion, because it will definitely do that for you. It's got, and those 1 square things come in so handy. But as you can see, I have stuffed all of the cards and the rule books into the Heroes box. And I've got the for the other 3 map packs in the Cartographers box, and then I have the first 3 map packs, which came in a box. So let me see here. Yeah, I talk about all of that. And then what else did we play? Well, my niece's birthday has been since the last time I talked to you, and surprisingly, when we asked what she wanted to play, we just all had like pizza and stuff. She said Harry Potter edition of Clue. There's actually 2 Harry Potter Clues, but this is called the Harry Potter edition or Harry Potter special edition or something like that of Clue. I haven't played Clue in ages. But it's interesting because there are wheels underneath the rooms in Hogwarts, and you turn the wheels, and some of them may do nothing. Some of them may give you a dark mark, meaning you have to draw a dark mark card, and you have health points. You can lose health from stuff like that. And sometimes when you turn the wheel, it will give you a portal or a tunnel which you can then take to another room instead of like trudging down the corridors. And let me tell you, when bad stuff happens, it always seems to happen to people in corridors, because we're like going like, oh no, I'm trapped in a corridor. Something has got to happen before I can make it to the room. But we had a lot of fun with it. I definitely recommend it if you like Clue and you like Harry Potter. I did not win. My nephew won. And he and I were making heavy eye contact in the last round or so because we had both figured it out. We were the only 2, I think, that knew what it was, because we were like looking at each other going, yeah. You know, we both had our strategies for how, and it was basically just a matter of who could get to the center room to give the solution first. And his turn came before mine in the circle, going clockwise around the table. So he got it like 2 people before I did. So it was a lot of fun. And it was a good birthday party, all in all. Yeah, that was a game I do not own. We have awkward guests for our Clue type game. And after playing Clue with the family, I think I'm going to introduce them to awkward guests. I think they'd like that. We finished another game of Scrabble. The board got to be a little bit of a mess after a while. And now I want to talk about the new stuff. I bought Zapotec. And you're going, but you don't play Euro games. We don't play very many Euro games, and really don't have very many games that might be considered on the heavier end of Euro. And I would not consider this a heavy Euro. If you want something so crunchy you'll break your teeth on it, it's not this one. See where my hand is? Not there. But it is, let me see if I can, trying to get stuff out of the way so this is in the frame properly. There we go. This is, to make sure I don't knock anything off the side of the table, including my mug of tea. But this is a game published by Board and Dice. And because Robert and I don't usually play Euro games, we've never played a game from Board and Dice. But we've heard a lot about this publisher. They're very well known for their T games, which are games that start with the letter T. And they tend to publish fairly complex Euros. They publish some other things that are less complex, but what they're really known for are crunchy Euro games. I didn't know that much about this one, and I got it because it was cheap. We went to Half Price Books over the Labor Day weekend. They were having a 20% off sale, so I picked up this, which that's used theoretically, but about half the games I bought for them are unopened, unpunched. So this is a pristine copy. So basically Zapotec new for $16. So I thought, well, I'm kind of curious. I just kind of want to see what a Board and Dice game, this will give us a taste of what the publisher does. And we got it and we played it. And the first playthrough, we've only played it once. We didn't have time to play it again because there was that birthday party thing going on too, but we only played it once, and the first playthrough was a little bumpy. It took us a little bit more time to kind of get up to speed on the game strategically, but we're not really Euro gamers. But we liked it. Robert and I both liked it, and we are looking forward to playing it again. I think that this is going to be a keeper. And as I told Robert, if we get this game and we play it a couple of times and decide it's not for us, but, you know, maybe we enjoyed our time with it, as the saying goes. I mean, I kind of feel like that for $16, even if this ultimately turns out not to be a game that stays in our collection for a long time, that we could get our money's worth out of it, have enough fun with the game for the price. And so I'm actually really pleased with the purchase. I think we will get probably more than our money's worth out of the gameplay, because if we had time that weekend, we definitely would have played it a second time. And this is probably going to be right up at the top of the list to give another playthrough to this coming weekend, because we liked it a lot. I can't say that we played it well. Don't get me wrong here. We did not play this well. Somebody who is like really good at this sort of game would watch our play and go, wah, because we did not play it well, but we had a huge amount of fun playing it, and we liked the way it played, and we found it interesting and fun. And it's like, what you're really in it for in playing games is to enjoy the experience of playing the game. And we really enjoyed it. So the fact that we played probably one of the world's worst games of Zapotec first time out of the box is immaterial, because we really enjoyed making a mess of the whole thing. Although, you know, we've made worse messes in first playthroughs than this, quite honestly. But yeah, it's designed by Fabio Lopiano. It has a solo mode. This game it's kind of on the short side. They say 60 to 75 minutes, but I'm thinking that's 60 to 75 minutes with more than 2 players. Because I'm thinking that once we really start to click with this game and get all of our gameplay and strategy down a lot more smoother and stuff like that, this game is going to go faster. This game is probably not going to go an hour for 2 people. I think it did on the first playthrough, because we were still looking stuff up in the book and saying, well, what about this or that? And what does that thing do? And I forgot about that. And do we need to do this now? So, you know, it's like, it was a teaching game or a learning game or a making a huge mess of it game. But yeah, it's obviously meant to be a lighter Euro and a faster playing Euro. They do not intend for this game to be something that everybody at the table is going to be going, and the game's going to last for hours and hours and hours, you know, especially with all of the analysis paralysis. This I don't think is going to be that kind of a game for most people. I would not say it's family weight, though. This is for somebody that maybe wants to dip their toe into the whole Euro game thing, as we did. But it's learnable for an average gamer. It does have a certain level of complexity that family weight games and lighter games don't have. There's a lot going on in the game. But yeah, we liked it. This is going to stick around for a while. And another new game we got, Ready, Set, Bet. I saw the Watch It Played crew play this in one of their live streams, and it was called by the designer. His name should be on the top. Yes, see, you can see John D. Clare. But yes, I saw it and I thought, it looks so much fun. I mean, they were just having a crazy amount of fun. It could be group dependent, like just how much yelling and doing things and how much people are into it. But if you can get a group that are really into it, and yeah, I'm getting a party game and I don't have like a big group for party games, but I do know people who've played this and had fun with it at 2, and there is an app for it that you can use to be that extra outside the game player who calls the game and basically is the house player, and rolls the dice and does that kind of thing. So 2 people could play this game and place their little bets on the horses that are racing with the app, calling the game as the game progresses. So we're going to give that a try. We haven't played it yet because we didn't have a dining room table while they were doing the stuff in the living room, because it was piled up to, well, above camera range here, up to there with games, and they were stacked on the floor, and they were stacked on the chairs, and they were stacked in other rooms. And we only have 2 Calexes and a few games Robert's got squirreled away in the other room, which didn't have to be moved. And I have some card games here and there. And then yesterday, we got another game. We were at half price yesterday, different weekend. And I saw that Half Price Books had a couple of brand new unopened copies of Lunar Outpost. And like I said, they do sometimes get in like chunks of new unopened games, so they're not always used or anything. And so I opened it up and it looked absolutely pristine, unused, perfect, except boys and girls, friends of all kinds, always inventory the components when you open a game. Even if the game is brand spanking new, sealed up, shrink wrapped, and unpunched, always inventory every single component. This is straight from the publisher new, and it was missing a card. And you're going like, well, 1 card, that's not going to make too much difference. Yeah, if it were 1 card, say, in a deck of like 100 cards or something, it probably wouldn't make that much difference. But the 1 card that is missing is 1 of 15. And you only use 12 of those 15 in any game. By the way, this is a co-op game. And so having 1 card missing, and no way of even knowing what the card was until you really look, but having 1 card missing could seriously unbalance the game and hurt your chance of winning. So I immediately contacted the publisher, Ravensburger, and got a very quick reply. I will say they did reply very quickly, but they probably replied very quickly because there wasn't much they could do. This game is discontinued, is what I was told. It is discontinued and they no longer have stock to do replacement parts. If you have this game and you lose anything from it, you are on your own. It is out of print, discontinued, and that was probably just some overstock remainders that Half Price had. But here's what the game looks like. We haven't played it yet. There is a training mission, and we have all the cards for the training mission. This morning, I went online trying to figure out what card we didn't have. They're the event cards. And as luck would have it, and we are talking pure, dumb luck. As luck would have it, this game is still being sold on Amazon US, and they had pictures on there. And one of the pictures advertising the fact that this game can be played with the Alexa app. There's an Alexa skill for it. We don't have Alexa. But there's an Alexa skill for it, and if you use that, you don't need the event cards. And in the little thing saying you can use it for Alexa, it shows 3 event cards. 2 are training game cards, which we have. And the third one was a card I had never seen before, the missing card. And when I saw it, I kind of went, because one, I found, and I looked on BGG, nobody had posted cards of it, not that I could find. And this was the only place online that I found it. One, it was the card that was missing from our deck. And 2, it was a really, really good card. It's one of those cards that could make the difference between winning and losing a game. It had one good, it's a supply drop card. It had one good thing up at the top, and then nothing happening for all the other numbers, and then one system failure down at the bottom. So your chances of having something bad happen to you on this card is very, very low, and most of the other stuff is good or relatively good, and as in nothing bad happens. I'm looking forward to this. You're building modules for a lunar base. This looks like it does not, I saw what Rodney does a Watch It Played for this. I've gone through and I've looked at the book, and I watched the video, and this plays very differently from our other co-op games. So I think that we're probably going to like this and enjoy it. And as far as the card that I found this morning, we're going to print it up, and I've already sleeved the event cards in this, and we're going to print that card like on regular printer paper and then sleeve it. And so when we shuffle the event cards, we're just going to be shuffling sleeves. So we will be able to use it normally when we do play this game, though we will play the training game first. I know there are players that, when they have a game that has do this for your first game, or don't put these in for your first game, or use these cards or these components for your first game, and they go like, oh, forget that, we're just going to jump right in. Not us. If it's got some kind of a starter mode, beginner mode, we recommend this for your first game mode. We always do that, because it means that we always have, when we do that, we have pretty good first plays. We play the game more smoothly. We learn the game better, and then we put in the more complex cards and components and mechanisms on the next game. And for us, it just makes ramping up. And we like those games which allow you to basically ramp up your skill level in playing the game, adding more and more complexity. Maybe that's why we like all the extra stuff we keep getting for cartographers, because it is making it more complex. So, and somebody asked in comments, we still haven't played Evacuation, which is a heavy Euro. I'm still trying to screw up my nerve for it. And also, it takes a bit of time to play and also to learn a new game that has that level of complexity. And we just haven't had the time and the focus to do that. But what I am looking forward to playing, what will be coming up next that you may hear about in future things fairly soon, I hope, will be a second play of Zapotec, Ready, Set, Bet, Lunar Outpost, and if we can learn how to play the game, if we've got the time to learn the game, Evacuation. And very soon we will be into spooky season, and I still want to play Firefly the game with the new expansion, and Sleeping Gods with the new expansion, and I have no idea. I say new expansion, old expansion, new to us. I have no idea when that's going to happen. None. But it's been really great to be back at the table, and the house is so quiet. Back at the table, talking to y'all about games and running my fingers through games. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me here. Drop a comment, and I will see y'all next time around the table. Bye.